Do you feel the difference? One feels like you're giving something up, and the other feels like abundance. Look, I came into this from the diet side first. It was a slower progression for me to understand the full picture and become a compassionate vegan. But even if you are coming into this for ethical reasons, because you don't want to give any money to the animal suffering that takes place in the dairy and meat industries, this reframe is going to help you too. And I'm going to share another powerful place in life that this is going to help you. Because yes, we care deeply about the ethics, but when you're constantly thinking, I can't eat animal products, it can feel heavy. When you shift that to, I'm choosing these vibrant plant based categories, you're operating from a place of power and abundance. You're not just avoiding harm, you're choosing life, you're choosing alignment, you're choosing with your values. Now, when you frame it this way, you're giving yourself clear categories to choose from. It really simplifies everything. Here's the other thing, it also changes how you communicate with other people, right? This is huge because so many struggle with this, especially in the beginning. How do I tell others about this dietary change I've made? So when someone asks, what do you eat? You don't have to talk about everything you don't eat. And here's why that matters. I've heard people say they have to hide this. They tell others they're allergic to certain foods to avoid the conversation. But that's still kind of operating from restriction. You're still focused on what you can't have. But when you lead with your categories, like I eat fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, and sprouts, or I only eat fruits, vegetables, beans, nuts, seeds, and whole grains, bread, you sound super excited. You don't have to sound like you're defensive or deprived. And here's what happens, their mind doesn't immediately go to, oh, you're missing out on this or that. How did you give up this or that? Instead, they start thinking about all these options. And that might even get them thinking, that's a lot of variety. What kind of meals do you make? Opens up a different conversation. You're opening their mind to the abundance of this diet too, instead of triggering that I could never give up cheese response that we've all heard. Now, in your daily life, it makes everything clearer. You're at the store, you know exactly where to go. You're choosing from your categories. Your meal planning or out at a restaurant, you're choosing from your categories. You're pulling from these categories. Someone invites you to dinner, you can easily explain, I eat from these categories only. Do you have options with fruits, vegetables, legumes, nuts, or seeds? It's simple, it's clear, and it's abundant. And it keeps you in that empowered mindset instead of feeling like you're constantly explaining what you're restricting. Of course, you can still have that conversation, but it leads with the abundance.